Hello guys, so welcome dito sa ating YouTube channel. Ito na yung lesson 24 sa ating sa theory. So let's talk about the congruences. So ano ba ibig sabihin pag congruences? So the term congruences is different from the term na natututunan nyo dun sa ating I think geometry, dun sa mga proving, kasi may mga congruence dun. So masasabi mo angle A is congruence to angle B, yung mga ganon part, tama? So dito iba naman dito. Okay, so let's have a definition. So if m is a positive integer and m divides a minus b, so again m is a positive integers and m divides a minus b. So naalala niyo sa ating definition divides, yung m yung ating I think ito yung ating divisor, then yung a minus b something independent natin. Okay, then we say, so not we sat, so this is we say, that a is congruent to b modulo m in symbol, that is a congruent to b mod m if and only if m divides a minus b. Okay, so tandaan niya, if m divides a minus b, then that's, ang definition lang niya, ibig sabihin is a is congruent to b modulo m. Okay, so parang sir kung hindi sila congruent, so otherwise kung hindi sila congruent, that is a is not congruent to b mod m or modulo m. Okay, so ang idea ni congruence is yung parang residue or something na parang remainder. So pinag-uusapan dito is something na remainder. Okay, so parang something dyan, basta ito ang forma niya, tandaan nyo basta pag nakita mo si a congruence to b mod m, ang lagi na papasok sa isip mo, that is m divides a minus b. So for example, kunyari nakakita ako ng 3 na meron ako 3 congruence modulo to 1 mod 2 I think. Okay, so by definition that is only 2 divides 3 minus 1, which is true. Kasi 2 divides 2. Another thing na possible dyan, so aside from that, so hindi yan fix na laging ganyan So another thing na pwede dyan, kunyari 5 modulo 1, o kaya 6 modulo 2. So this is 6 congruence to 2 modulo 2. So possible din yan, sir. Bakit po? Because that is in symbol, this is if and only if 2 divides 6 minus 2. Okay, another thing, pwede rin magkabaliktad dyan, pwedeng mas malaki yung dito. So hindi ko naman sinasabi lagi mas malaki si a kay b. So pwedeng mas malaki si b kay a. So bakit sir? Kasi divides lang naman ibig sabihin yan. Okay, so in this, pwede possible din to. So we have 1 congruence to 3 modulo 2. So bakit sir? Ibig sabihin yan, that is 2 divides 1 minus 3, which is true naman kasi 2 divides negative 2. Okay, so 1 minus 3 is negative 2, so 2 divides negative 2, so 2 divides negative 2 is negative 1 kung naaalala nyo. So again, this is the divisor and this is the dividend. So lagi na isasaksak sa isip na ganyan yung ibig sabihin ng modulo. Okay, so sir, paano to? What if to? So something nga parang ang idea nga ito is division lang siya pero may something related sa kanyang mga parang kumbaga remainder. Ito yung mga pag-uusapan natin dito. Okay, the next is the following are equivalent to each other and may be used interchangeably. So ibig sabihin interchangeably. So kunyari nakita ko to, nakita ko yan. Ibig sabihin kunyari nakita ko yung a congruence to b modulo m. Ibig sabihin lang niya ito nga, by definition m divides a minus b. Okay, then by definition of divides, kung naaalala nyo, ano ba definition divides natin? Ay, ibig sabihin ito by definition of divides, lagi ka ng arrow dito. By definition of divides, that is a minus b is equal to mk. So for some k element of integers. Okay, so kaya magtataka siya paano nakuha to. Ito lang kasi transpose lang yung b. So nung transpose yung b, that is simply a is equal to b plus mk for some k element of integers. Kaya nakuha yan. Okay, yan yung ibig sabihin yan. So tandaan yung part na yan. So again, sila ay equivalent sa isa't isa. So whenever makita ko to, pwede ito agad or ito. So ikaw nang bahalang mag-analyze ng ganyang bagay. Okay, so before tayo mag-proceed sa mga solution na ito sa congruences, pag-usapan muna natin yung mga theorem. So I think dapat i-analyze muna natin yung mga theorem para at least makita nyo yung mga dapat gawin natin dito. Okay, so let's have theorem 10.1. So kung naalala ng theorem 9 yung last time, so theorem 10 na tayo. So theorem 10.1, for every integer is congruent modulo m to exactly one of the integers 0, 1, 2, 3, m minus 1. Okay, so again, every integer is congruent modulo m to exactly one of the integers 0, 1, 2, m minus 1. So paano ba natin ipoprove yan? So lagay tayo dito. Sabi every integer So ibig sabihin kahit arbitrary integer na iniisip natin. So pwedeng negative, pwedeng 0, or kahit something. So sabi lang nga si integer is congruent modulo m to exactly one of the integers. Okay, so check natin. For example, let natin, let ako. So let a element of integers. Okay, then by dividing a, so by dividing a by m, ano ibig sabihin? So kunyari si a dinivide ko by m, by division algorithm, naalala nyo, by division algorithm, ano ibig sabihin nun? So by division algorithm, that is, so kunyari ibig sabihin na, kunyari a divided by m, kunyari na ito, ibig sabihin ito a over m or a divided by m. So by division algorithm, ang ibig sabihin yan is equal to a is equal to m times the quotient plus the remainder, where 0 is less than equal to r less than m. Okay, so naalala mo ganyan definition division algorithm. So whenever nag-divide ka ng dalawang integer by division algorithm, ito ibig sabihin. Okay, so hindi natin alam kasi kung may remainder siya, or kung may remainder 0 siya, or may remainder greater than 1 or greater than 0 rather. Okay, where q and r are integers. Okay, so next is, anong gagawin natin dyan? Sir, ang gagawin ko po dyan, pinatranspose ko yung r. So this implies that a minus r is equal to mq. Okay, so this is for some q, sorry lagay ko no. So for some q and r element of integers. Okay, tapos may restriction konti. Next, transpose ko lang yung r, so ganyan ibig sabihin. So that is a minus r is equal to mq. Then by definition of divides, kung naalala nyo, so by definition of divides, this implies that m divides a minus r. Okay, so next, by definition of modulo, ano ibig sabihin by definition of modulo natin? Kunyari by divide na m divides a minus r. By definition of modulo, that is simply, this is simply a is congruent to r modulo m. Modulo m. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin nito? Naalala nyo, ano ba si r? So ang sabi niya, no, every integer congruent. So every integer, let's say a, is congruent modulo m to exactly one of the integers. So r yung tinutukoy na yun. So ano ba yung r? We note that, so note that r is restricted, to 0 less than equal to r less than m. So ano yung mga possible value ng r na yan? Ang possible value ng possible values are, syempre si 0 pasok dyan. Since integer si r, syempre pasok dyan si 1, pasok dyan si 2, pasok dyan si 3, then that pasok dyan si, hindi pasok si m. Pero ano ba yung integer bago si m? That is m minus 1. Okay, so that is m minus 1. So therefore, si a is congruence, si a na arbitrary integer is congruence to r modulo m. That is exactly one of the integers. So anong integer yan? That is 0, 1, 2, 3, up to m minus 1. So hindi sinasabi, ang ibig sabihin to exactly 1, hindi pwedeng sabay. Okay, so meaning congruent siya dyan. So ngayon, anong idea mo dito? Ibig sabihin pala, ang kinukuha natin dito is yung nasa part na to is yung remainder. Okay? So yung remainder na yan, so kunyari ito yung A congruent to something modulo M. So yung something dyan, that is the remainder. Okay, so I think pwede ko to i-done symbol kasi nakuha ko na yung purpose na kinukuha ko. Okay, at the same time, naintindihan mo na ibig sabihin ni congruence is something na upon dividing yung isang number, sa M, yung that number is congruent to that remainder. So whenever that is 0 or positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, or that up to m-1. So provided na dapat yung r is less than dun sa divisor, kasi ganoon naman talaga yung definition natin dun sa by division algorithm. So tandaan yung idea na yan. Okay, so next is note, we call the remainder r as the least residue of A. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung lalabas sa part na to, so sa mga susunod na video makikita nyo na yung something dito na lalabas, yun yung tinatawag natin na least residue. So meaning siya yung pinaka maliit na remainder na possible, kasi ganito so kunyari dinivide ko siya sa 10, marami possible na remainder, pero dapat hindi man totally maraming possible na remainder, kasi sa unang pag-divide mo, kunyari dapat ginagawa natin sa division algorithm, kunyari 10 divided by 2 at 10 divided by 3, so may una kang gagawin, pwede mo kasing gawin ganito that is equal to 10 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 4. Pero hindi pa least residue si 4. Okay, kasi ito ibig sabihin ko lang Ngari lang dinivide ko si 10 kay 3. Ito kasi pwede kong gawin ganito. This is 10 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 4. Okay, in which this is the remainder. Pero by division algorithm, may restriction tayo. Dapat napakaliit ni remainder, in which dapat mas maliit dapat si remainder dun sa divisor natin. Okay, doon sa ating tama sa divisor. So possible nyan, ito yung sagot natin. This is 10 is equal to 3 times 3 plus 1. Okay, so that is the reason bakit tinatawag siya na least residue of A, kasi possible again na tama yun. So ito tama lang yan, equation na hindi yung definition of division algorithm. I mean, pwede kong gawin ganyan yan, kasi 3 times 2 plus 4, so nangyari nga lang si 4, hindi ko siya masasabing least residue kasi hindi pa niya sinatisfy mismo si division algorithm. So kaya ito ibig sabihin that is 10 is equal to 3 times 2 plus 1, in which one is the least residue, so sa yung remainder in which ay less than dun sa ating divisor. Ito din yung connection division algorithm kay congruence. So kaya nga sabi niya they are all equivalent. So kaya nga natawag din siyang least residue. So tandaan yan. Okay, so ito nga sabi niya the least residue of 38 in modulo 3, 4, and 5. So tignan natin ano yung least residue ng 38 sa modulo 3, 4, and 5. So unahin natin una to. So we have 38 congruence to r sub 1 na lang, tapos modulo 3. So anong klaseng r sub 1 yan? So upon dividing 38 to 3, ano may possible cases dyan? Okay, so I think 12 times 3, so pinakamalapit siya, so pinakamalapit kasi dito so I think pinakamalapit kasi siya dito sa 38 is equal to I think 3 times 12, that is 3 times 12, so that is 36 plus 2. Okay, so in least residue, nakuha ko yung 2. So therefore this is 38 modulo 2. 38 congruence to 2 modulo 3. Okay, so ganun yung sinasabi ni sir. So meaning yung least residue na pag dinivide ko sa the least residue of 38 in modulo 3 is 2. Okay, then the least residue of 38 on modulo 4. So check natin isa. So hindi ito yung sagot yung least residue is 2. So actually yung r sub 1 is 2. Ito yung sagot talaga. So sinusulat ko lang. Next is 38 modulo r sub 2. So congruence to r sub 2 modulo 4. So ano naman dyan? So dito naman isip tayo. I think pinakamalapit siya sa, so possible to dinivide ko siya sa 4. So dito possible dito ganito So this is 38 is equal to is equal to I think 4 times 9. Okay, kasi that is 36, then this is plus 2 pa rin. Okay, so yun yung pinaka-possible na pwede ko makuha. So meaning, this is 38 congruence to 2 modulo 4. So yun yung least residue. So R sub 2 is equal to 2. Okay, so possible yan. Then lastly, pag dinivide sa 5, so we have 38 congruence to R sub 3 modulo 5. So upon dividing 5, ano yung possible dyan? So sa 7, no? So I think divisible siya. So hindi siya divisible actually. So that is 38 is equal to 5 times 7 kasi that is 35 din plus 3. So meaning 3 yung R sub 3 natin. So this is 38 congruence to 3 mod 5. So meaning R sub 3 is equal to 3. So yun yung nakuha. So ito yung least residue niya upon dividing by 3, upon dividing by 4, upon dividing by 5. So ibig sabihin na modulo is something na dinivide ko siya. So ano yung remainder ko pag dinivide ko siya sa 3? Ano yung remainder? Ano yung least residue? Ano yung pinakamalit na residue? Pag yung 38 dinivide ko sa 3, dinivide ko sa 4, and dinivide ko sa 5. Okay, so hoping niya naintindihan mo yung idea ni least residue. Okay, next. Let's have theorem 10.2. So sabi niya, the integers a and b leave the same remainder on division by m if and only if a congruence to b modulo m. Okay, so I think in this case, prove ko lang yung case 1, yung papunta. So assumption ko is a and b leave the same remainder on division by m. Then ang papalabasin ko, a is congruence to b modulo m. So yung case 2, in which ito naman yung ating assumption, tapos ipoprove natin na ganyan, probably ilalagay ko sa problem set or what. So para naman masanay kayo sa pag-prove din dito. So ayoko naman kasi ako nung lagi sagot na sagot. Okay, so prove ko lang yung ating convert, yung implication lang talaga. So ang puprove lang ni sir, okay, is case 1. Okay, so by assumption, the integers a and b leave the same remainder on division by m. So dali natin. So let a and b element of integers. Okay, so we say that a, dinivide natin siya m. This implies that, ano ibig sabihin nito? Pag nag-leave siya ng same remainder, ibig sabihin that is a is equal to m q sub 1 plus r. So this is for some q sub 1 and r element of integers. Next, kunyari dinivide ko si b kay m. So this implies by division algorithm, this is b is equal to m q sub 2 plus r. Okay, this is for some q sub 2 and r also element of integers. Okay, so yun yung mga kinukuha natin, no? So ano ba yung maganda gawin para makuha natin? So kunyari sinubtract ko tong dalawang to. So pag sinubtract ko, that is a minus b is equal to m q sub 1 minus m q sub 2. Then r minus r is 0. So cancel na siya. Okay, then factor out ko lang dito yung m. So this is a minus b is equal to m times q sub 1 minus q sub 2. So we all know that q sub 1 and q sub 2 is element of integers. So set lang natin. So set natin na si q sub 1 minus q sub 2 is equal to k. Okay, so this is a minus b is equal to mk. Okay, then by definition of divides, that is m divides a minus b. Tama? Then by definition of by definition of congruence, this is a congruence to b modulo m. Okay, so for the meantime, this is that case 2 will serve as your problem set. So ganun dito mag-prove ng mga modulo. So ibig sabihin, leave the same remainder, kaya r yung ginamit ko parehas. Okay, so let's have theorem 10.3. So congruence of integers modulo m is an equivalence relation. Okay, so sabi yung congruence daw of integers modulo m is an equivalence relation. So we need to show that this is an ER. So again, alalahanin natin, paano ba nagiging equivalence relation? So since morning medyo hirap isipin din, kaya lang kaya kayo naisip ko na. So masasabi natin equivalence relation pag reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So ang relation natin is yung congruence modulo m. Okay, so congruence of integers modulo m. Okay, so dito kailangan natin mag-show na maglet tayo ng dalawang integer, tapos dapat yung dalawang integer na is congruence modulo m sa isa't isa. Okay, so una is ito yung proof, no? So proof, okay, so dapat siya ay equivalence relation. So una natin, let a element of integers. Okay, so ang sabi una, assume natin na si a comma a is an element of relation. Kasi relation daw si congruence modulo m. So by definition of relation, this implies that a congruence to a modulo m. Okay, yun so yun ibig sabihin. So masabi ko na si a related to a, so a comma a related to a if ganyan na mangyari. Okay, so next is by definition of congruence, this implies that m divides a minus a. Okay, so which implies that m divides 0. Okay, so note na by property totoo yan. So 0 is divisible by any number. Tama? So alam natin na this is true. Okay, so masasabi ko, so a, so we say that a is related to a kasi nga m divides 0. So upon using the definition na a congruence to a modulo m, then ginamit natin si definition ng congruence, which is m divides a minus a, then sinulve ko lang sa a minus a, which is 0. Then may property tayo na sinabi ko dati na 0 is divisible by any number, so which is true. Therefore pwede ko sabihin na a is related to a. So dahil ko lang, so this relation, okay, so this relation, ito yung relation yan, is reflexive. Okay, so next is kailangan natin patunayan na siya ay symmetric. So paano naman pag symmetric? So dalawang letter lang gagamitin. So we have a and b. So ang dapat natin makita, a congruence to b mod m implies b congruence to a mod m. So dapat magpalit. Okay, so let a and b element natin. So using ko lang to. So let natin, so let a and b element ng integers. So assume natin na si a comma b is an element of R. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, a comma b element of R, this implies that a is congruence to b modulo m. So ano goal natin? Ang goal natin maging b congruence, so that ang goal natin that is b congruence to a mod m, so in which that is b comma a element of R. So consider natin to. So consider si a is related to b para maganda yung start. If a is related to b, by definition of congruence, or by definition of relation, that is a congruence to b mod m. Okay, then by definition, this is this is m divides a minus b. Tama. Then by definition of divides, that is a minus b is equal to mq. So this is for some q element of integers. Okay, next lalabas ko yung negative dito. This is something na negative of b minus a is equal to mq. Okay, which divide ko both side by negative, so mapupunta doon. So this implies that b minus a is equal to m times negative q. Okay, so yung negative, dinivide ko, nagkaroon din ng negative yung right side naman. So, nawala dito, napunta dito. Okay, so ang ginawa ko, in-regroup ko, nilagay ko siya sa Q. So, set ko lang. So, set natin. So, set K to be equal sa negative Q. Since yung negative Q is an integer lang, bakit sir? Si Q integer. Divide ko lang, multiply ko siya sa negative, integer pa rin siya. Okay, so we have this as B minus A is equal to MK. Okay, then by definition again of divides, babalik lang siya. This implies that M divides B minus A. Okay, then by definition of congruence, this implies that B is congruence to A modulo M. Okay, in which this implies that B is related to A. So, this relation is symmetric. Okay, so next is kailangan natin i-show na siya naman ay transitive. Okay, so paano siya transitive? So, tatlong element, no? So, dalawang assumption, tatlong element. Okay, so let natin dito. So, let A, B, and C element of integers. So, yung mga assumption natin dalawa. Assume natin dalawa. Una, A, B element of R. Ano ibig sabihin nito? A, B element of R. This implies that A congruence to B modulo M. Okay, isa naman is B, C element of R. This implies that B congruence to C modulo M. Okay, so check natin. Ano ba mga pwede natin gawin din sa mga ating assumption? So, based sa mga assumption, kailangan mapalabas natin A is congruence to B. A is congruence to C mod M. Kasi yun yung goal natin. Okay, so check natin. So, consider, dito ko nalagay. Consider the following. Okay, so check natin this is A related to B. This implies that A congruence to B mod M. Okay, which implies that M divides A minus B, which implies that A minus B is equal to M k sub 1 for some k sub 1 element of integers. Okay, so yun ang tinry ko. Next is B related to C. This implies that B congruence to C modulo M. Okay, which implies that M divides B minus C, which implies that B minus C is equal to M k sub 2 for some k sub 2 element of integers then. Okay, so k sub 2 element of integers. So napansin nyo, ito yung huling equation. So pag pinag-add ko yan, ano mangyari? So add lang yan, that is A minus C is equal to M k sub 1. So that is M k sub 1 plus M k sub 2. So factor out ko lang. So this is A minus C is equal to M times k sub 1 plus k sub 2. So mag-set lang tayo. So set lang natin na this is C. Let's see. D is equal to k sub 1 plus k sub 2. So we have, ano mayari? That is A minus C is equal to MD. Okay, then by definition of divides, so by definition of divides, that is M divides A minus C. By definition of congruence, this implies that A is congruence to C mod M. Okay, in which this is, ang meaning nito, this is A is related to C. Okay, so this relation is transitive. Okay, therefore this relation or the congruence relation is an equivalence relation, and that is done. Okay, so ganoon naman yung gagawin natin dito. So ganyan mag-prove dito. So ako pinrove ko na para makita mo yung mga possible na gagawin mo pag nagpo-proving ako dito. So ayun lang naman yung counterpart, pupunta ka lang naman sa divides. Okay. Okay, next is the residue classes modulo M or. So, kung naalala nyo, yung ating M lang natin o yung residue classes modulo M or yung R lang natin, kung naalala nyo, yung mga possible remainder lang is 0 up to M minus 1. Okay, so mag-start tayo kay 0. So, yung una yung list. So, ano yung classes pag kay 0? Then, may M tayo dito lagay. So, this is just equal sa M times K such that K is an element of integers. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin yan? Kunyari, modulo 4. Kunyari, 0. Kunyari, sinabi ko, kunyari, ganito nilagay ni sir, that is 0 modulo 4. So, ano yung mga ibig sabihin yan? That is simply the set containing since K is an integer, so yung mga possibility dito, that is kunyari that negative 8, negative 4, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, then that something. So ayun yung ibig sabihin niya. Kunyari ginawa kong 5, syempre multiples of 5. Ayun yung ibig sabihin niyan. Okay, next, syempre next residue natin. Kung ginawa kong 1 naman, kunyari 1, so residue classes upon 1, so this is mk plus 1 such that k is an element of integers. So ito naman ibig sabihin nito. Kunyari ginawa kong 1 residue class of 1 upon dividing by 5 upon dividing by 4. So ano mangyari? That is, kunyari si negative 8 plus 1, negative 4 plus 1, 0 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 8 plus 1, 12 plus 1, 16 plus 1. Ayun ibig sabihin naman yung possible na laman niya. Okay, so aware ka na ano susunod ko dito. Siyempre, kunyari lang, anong nangyari? Pag 0 remainder, multiple lang siya kung ano yung M. Pag 1 yung remainder, meaning pag dinivide ko sa 4, yung mga multiple niya plus 1. Pag 2 yung remainder, pag 2 yung nasa loob, that is yung multiple ng something sa M pero plus 2. Ayun yung ibig sabihin niya. So lagay ko lang, kunyari ginawa ko itong 2. Okay, so this is mk plus 2 for some k, for such that k is an element of integers and so forth. Okay na lang maglagay dyan. Okay, so ngayon maglalagay ako ng something I think medyo nakakatuwa para sa part nyo. So ito yung tinatawag na group table for modulo M. So, ito ibig sabihin. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito, ito medyo kakaiba. Huwag kang magugulat sa gagawin natin. Kasi, ito yung, kunyari, mag-add tayo ng dalawa, tas may residue something. So, upon dividing. So, for example, sinabi ko lang for example, kunyari, 3 plus 2 modulo 2. So, may nakalagay na plus 2. Okay, ano ibig sabihin yan? So, 3 addition modulo 2 plus 2. Yun ibig sabihin 3 addition modulo 2 plus 2. So ano ibig sabihin? Pag dinivide, pag inad ko yan, modulo 2. So ibig sabihin, this implies that this is 5. Okay, or lagay ko lang muna, this is equivalent sa 3 plus 2 modulo 2. Yan ibig sabihin. In which this is equal lang sa 5 modulo 2. Ano sagot dun? So 5 modulo 2, that is 3. Okay, so ang sagot sa 3 plus 2 modulo 2 is 3. Yun yung ibig sabihin yan. Kaya sinabi ko 7 plus 3. Mali. Sinabi ko 7 plus 3 modulo 3. So ang sagot dyan, that is 1. Okay, again, 7 plus 3, that is 10. Modulo 3, yung least remainder is 1. Okay, so kunin mo yung least remainder, by the way. Sorry, mali dito. No, tingnan mo, 5 modulo 2, hindi lang basta 3. Ang sagot dyan is 1. O, tiko, 5 mod 2. So, pag dinivide ko si 5 kay 2, ang pinaka-least remainder na makukuha ko is 1. Okay, so that is 1. So, dito naman, mangyari, this is 7 plus 3 modulo 3. Okay, which is this is equal to 1. Kasi 10 divided by 3, so we'll leave a remainder of 1. Okay, so huwag ka magugulo about dito. So kaya nga sinabi ko group table for modulo. So gagawa tayo ng group table. So for example, gawa tayo ng ngayon meron papakilala sa inyong set. Kunyari meron ako sinabing C sub n. C sub n. Ang ibig sabihin ng C sub n is the set containing 0, then up to n minus 1. Okay, so depende yan. So for example, sinabi ko C sub 2. So pag sabi ko C sub 2, that is 0 and 1 lang. Okay, kaya sinabi ko C sub 3. So ibig sabihin nito, this is 0, 1, 2. Kaya sinabi ko C sub 4. C sub 4, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So ayan yung ibig sabihin. So, ibig sabihin yan, ito yung mga remainder. Okay, upon dividing by 2, upon dividing by 3, upon dividing by 4. So, ayan yung C sub n. So, kunyari, integer, pag nag-divide ako ng dalawang integer, upon dividing by 2, so modulo 2, yung mga remainder na pwede na possible niya is 0 and 1 lang. Pag divide ako by 3, ang mga possible remainder lang is 0, 1, 2. Pag divide ako by 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yun yung mga possible remainder. So, ngayon, gawa tayo ng group table for C sub. Taking C sub 2 muna. Okay, so addition table to. Okay, so kunyari group table muna ni C sub 2. So group table. So parang addition table. So something like abstract algebra na to. So sinama ko lang para medyo nakakatuwa. Kunyari group table of C sub 3. So we all know that C sub 3 is equal to the set containing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so ang gagawin mo, lagay ka dito ng plus, ganyan. Okay, kaya nga group table. Tapos lagay ko dito yung set na 0, 1, 2. Lagay ko dito yung 0, 1, 2. Okay, so start tayo. Nari, 0 plus 0. So 0, addition modulo 3 plus 0. That is 0 plus 0 modulo 3. That is 0 pa rin. Tama? 0 plus 1 modulo 3. That is 1 pa rin. Tama? 0 plus 2 modulo 3, that is 2 pa rin. Okay, so sir, bakit ibig sabihin kunyari that is, anong nangyari na kasi that is 0 plus 0 modulo 3. That is still 0 kasi wala namang remainder kasi mas mababa. Next sunod is 0 plus 1 modulo 3, that is 1 pa rin. Sunod is 0 plus 2 modulo 3. O since mababa pa rin siya sa divisor natin, that is 2 pa rin. Kasi wala kang makukuha ang remainder. Okay, punta tayo sa node. 1 plus 0, that is 1. 1 plus 0 modulo 3, that is 1. 1 plus 1 modulo 3, that is 2 pa rin. Kasi hindi naman lumagpas. Next, 1 plus 2 modulo 3. So 1 plus 2, that is 3. Modulo 3, ano remainder? That is 0. Tama. So 1 plus 2 modulo 3. So 1 plus 2 is 3 modulo 3. So ano yung remainder pag dinivide ko si 3 kay 3? That is 0. Next, 2 plus 2. O ito naman po tayo. 2 plus 0. This is still 2. Tama. 2 plus 1 modulo 3. That is 0. Kasi 0 na yan. Kasi 3 na yun eh. Next, 2 plus 2. That is 4 modulo 3. 1. Kasi may maglilib na remainder 1. So therefore, ito yung kanyang group table. Okay, so hoping na nag-enjoy ko dyan. So try natin lakihan para bago tayo matapos dito, para medyo matuwa ka. So try natin si C sub 6. So si C sub 6, lagi ko lang dito no, addition modulo 6, tapos lakihan natin konti. So yung mga possible value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so obvious madali dito. So 0 plus 0, syempre 0 pa rin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kasi walang masyado epekto. Next, 1 plus 0, 1 pa rin. 1 plus 1, 2, 1 plus 2, 3, 1 plus 3, 4, 1 plus 4, 5. Pero 1 plus 5, 6, modulo 6, 0. Okay, next, 2 plus 0, this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Tapos dito, mag-0 kasi 2 plus 4 is 6. Then 2 plus 5 is 7, modulo 6, that is 1. Okay, next dito is 3, 4, 5. So, ano pansin mo, ito ay 0, 1, 2. So, ito yung dali naman dito. Next dito is 4. This is 5. So, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. Then this is, siyempre this is 5 pa rin. Okay, then this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So, ito naman yung kinadali dito. So, again, pag nagbigay ako ng tanong, kunyari, 7 plus 2 modulo 4. Kunyari, 7 plus 2 modulo 4. 7 plus 2 modulo 4 is 1. Kasi 7 plus 2 is 9 modulo 4. So, 9 divided by 8, the remainder is 1. So, the least residue is 1. So, yun yung ibig sabihin dito. Okay? So, hoping na naintindihan mo yung idea ng congruence sa least residue. Kasi, sa next video, that is all about yung properties na ng congruence modulo, tapos yung solution na. So, magsasolve na tayo, or ipoprove na natin na siya kunyari 2 raised to 7,000, ano yung remainder niya pag dinivide ko siya dito. Ayun yung mga possible natin gagawin. Okay, so thank you for watching. Hoping na panoorin pa yung next video natin.